things that used to be pretty much common sense that have just simply fallen either out of vogue or socially people they just don't do them, or they've been forgotten, or skills that weren't passed on. That's what we're talking about today. Incredibly useful items that you and I can benefit from, not only socially, but emotionally, not only emotionally, but economically. And the list goes on and on and on. Emergency preparedness. Ladies and gentlemen, please tell me what it is you think are the top items that people have forgotten how to do before we even get started in the video. Because I found this article that was absolutely almost like reading what Christa, my wife, Christa and I do in our family as pretty much things we've learned over the last 10 years. Things that have fallen out of vogue, things that have just used to be common knowledge and now are not. Like, I'll give you one that's not on the list. Things like making soap, making stuff from scratch, something that we do and we love it, saves us a lot of money. We know what's going in it. We know how it's going to affect our kids and yada, yada, yada. So what are your top things that you think should be in everybody's daily lives, but have kind of just slipped away? All right, first thing, here we go on this. Let's see, I'm going to look at this page. Here we go. Canning food. Oh my gracious. How much money have we saved canning food? Also knowing what's in the food. Incredibly important. I don't want to eat a bunch of chemicals. I don't want to eat a bunch of preservatives. I don't want our kids eating a bunch of chemicals and preservatives. Not only does canning food take care of a lot of that, but also saves you a ton of money, and you get flavors that are exactly the way you want, and long-term stuff. Most of the things, if you can foods properly, if you're following the right guidelines, they're going to last for a very, very long time. There's thing one. Are you typing? Are you putting your stuff down there? Here is thing number two. Let me get back over here. Okay, thing two. How about learning how to cook? Learning how to cook from scratch. Baking bread. How about things like, could you make a pie for Thanksgiving? You want to talk about a valuable skill, save you a lot of money, saves you a lot of headache knowing what's going in your food. Not only that, but you can really tailor things to your own particular diet. Ladies and gentlemen, how many people have this allergy or that allergy, or I don't like this, or this one doesn't like that? Well, you could really tailor things in instead of buying things from a box that are loaded with sodium and chemicals and all of the yada yada and yippee skippy you don't want in your diet. Learn how to do some cooking. Go to YouTube University. This channel has hundreds, and I mean hundreds of videos on baking, canning, food preservation, and all that. Check off that box. Learn how to do some cooking. Here's next one. Ready? That's an ad for some spiky shoe. Okay, moving on. Oh, cursive writing. Cursive writing or calligraphy. Do you know? Are you aware that cursive writing is not even being taught in elementary schools and primary schools now? They've just kind of skipped over it. And right now, I can see that there's going to be a weird time period where, how do you sign your name for things like a mortgage? Do you just make an X? Or do you write your name in block letters? I don't know. But here's another thing. This is just a side thing. When you take time and you care enough to send somebody a letter, a handwritten letter, boy, that goes a long way emotionally to the writer and the recipient when they realize the care and effort that was put into actually writing the letter. I think that's time well worth spending, I should say. So, I don't know. Do you still write in cursive? Because I do, not as much as I would like to, but that's a time issue, but I still know how. So next thing. Oh, how about this one? This is crazy. Planning and budgeting instead of letting an app do it for you. Oh my gracious, folks. You know, computers are very, very good at calculating things and figuring things out. However, humans are generally still involved in the input of data into those systems. Just doesn't materialize. Somebody somewhere had to click a thing. And what if they actually got it wrong when they were clicking that thing? Would you even know if you were not making enough money or you were spending $40 a month on Netflix still? Would you even know it? How about a budget? Are you going to make your goals? Do you have goals? These are things well worth looking into. I know it's so archaic, the idea that maybe you could just get a gigantic abacus out and start clicking the little beads across and figuring out exactly how to count things like pennies, that apparently pennies will now be eradicated from the U.S. Mint. They're not going to be minting pennies very soon. So preppers out there, start hoarding your pennies, and that way, no, I'm kidding about that. I don't know what they're going to do about the pennies. That's been floated out there. I'm just being silly about the pennies. But yeah, I think it is a very good idea to know where your money's going. Pretty good idea. Next thing. Oh, here's one. We live in a throwaway society, folks. I don't know if you noticed, but usually when we wear out a tiny little hole in our clothes, you throw it away or you tear it up and use it as a rag. How about a crazy, crazy idea of mending the clothes that you have? And yeah, I get it. Most of us in the world can't afford the super high-endy clothes that are easily mendable. Most of us have to get clothes at places like Walmart or Target or the cheaper clothing places. Well, they don't mend as easily. However, you could still get a few mends out of a thing before it's time to pass it on or use it for rags in working on the cars or just cleaning your hands up. But getting the most out of every shred of clothing that you have is going to save you a lot of money. It's also going to teach you things like how to make your own clothes. That'd be kind of nice. Custom made. That's pretty cool. Saves money, helps you out all the way around. Next thing. All right. Another ad for that place. Okay. Oh, growing your own food. This is one that my wife, Christa, and we love growing our food. Those are peppers, aren't they? And they look good. Those peppers are coming in on that one. This is a duh moment. Duh. Even people who live in apartments in big cities, you can do what's called container gardening. You can save a lot of money, like peppers, for example. Peppers, I don't know how much they are where you're at, but you tell me in the chat how much like a bushel of corn, a bushel, what am I talking about? You guys don't buy a bushel of corn. How about like 5 or 6 ears of corn? What's a pepper cost? A big, nice green pepper or a red pepper. Some of the basic stuff. What's tomatoes? The price of tomatoes. The price of bananas. Okay. Where I live, it's currently $1 a pepper. $1 a pepper. But if I grow those peppers in a container, on a balcony, on a rooftop, in my garden, that dollar is almost completely gone, because when you buy a package of seeds for $2, then you get several seeds, which each one of those can make many, 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 many peppers. And then you do the math. Not only do you know what you're putting into your bellies, your diet, you're saving a ton of money. You're actually getting exercise. You're getting out into the sunshine and getting some vitamin D. You're getting a little bit of stretch those muscles out. Yeah, that's me. I need to stretch my muscles out right now. But gardening all the way around is a good thing. And then you combine gardening with preserving your food, and you got a triple word score. Moving on. Oh, fixing your own cars. Ladies and gentlemen, even if you learn basic maintenance, I'm talking basic maintenance, you are going to be light years ahead in terms of finances. I can't tell you, like, for example, here's a for instance. My daughter Hope has what we have affectionately called a beater truck, meaning she got the thing for $500 and has beaten it to and it's still running. But she just accidentally slid off of a snow-covered, effectively a hill. It got caught on a shrub and ripped out part of the brake line system. So we could trash the $500 truck, but the engine still runs really good. Or we could spend a little bit of time and money and put in a whole new brake line system, and she could probably get another year out of that truck or more. Wait a minute. So what's better? Spend $200-$300 on a brake line system and she gets to drive it for another year and then sell it probably for what she actually bought it for or more, trash the truck, which that's out, or let somebody else fix it for $600. Basic maintenance. Good stuff. Moving on. What are your thoughts, by the way? Okay. Oh, handling conflict like a pro. We don't want to talk about it. No, I'm kidding. It's a forgotten skill, folks. How to listen. You've been given 2 ears and 1 mouth. There's a reason for that. We need to be able to be attentive and listen to what other people's opinions are, even if they're not our own. Well, actually, dare I say, especially if they're not our own. Yeah. Time to listen more. Another ad. Moving on. Okay, this one's interesting. And this might be the last one of this video. Learning how to talk to people without a screen or texting or a computer or tech. Let me tell you something, folks. You may not be aware of this, but you're a human. And the people on the other side of that screen or that text, they're humans too, and they want to be treated like humans. I know we've figured out ways to make communication easier and faster, and LOL and LAMO and all of the isms that we shorten things down. But I can tell you this, that a phone call or an actual face-to-face conversation goes a far, far better piece in terms of communication than it does a few text characters or an emoji on a piece of software. Let me tell you what, I have gotten myself into so many problems with texting, mainly because I don't always check what I'm texting, and sometimes it'll spell check something the wrong way, and all of a sudden, whoo, the change of what I meant to say is now not what it really says. Boy, that has gotten me into trouble before. And then I'm like, no, I meant this, I meant that. And it's too late when the emotions have already run hot. Learn how to say hi. Even if you're bad at it, you know what? It's going to be better than just texting something that's emotional or important to you. I hope that we all start to relearn some of the things that were forgotten, the skills that were lost, the things that were common knowledge before, and that we absolutely start working on them, because we're all going to be better off if we do. I hope you have a blessed day. You guys, we'll see you back next time. All right. Bye-bye.